Like, they don't understand what things in this country cost because they live in the cheapest part of the
Because they live in
country.
Buffalo.
They live in Buffalo.
Yeah.
So they don't understand, like, it is the thing of, like, you stay in the expensive places, you now know how the world works, where they're, like, $7 for a beer. And you're like, dude, that's what a draft beer costs.
And I do feel like, having lived in the Bay Area, having lived in New York, if I ever decide to go anywhere else, I can just basically colonize it with my with my not caring about the price at all.
Yeah, well, like, moving from New York to here, it's like nothing could feel expensive here.
Yeah.
It can't feel expensive here.
No.
Like, you'd have to live in a literal mansion for you to be like, whoa.
I've been in some places that I am like, oh, this is like a mansion, and it's cheap. And I'm like, God damn it.
But then the town is the town.
But then you are living in Texas.
And then you live in Central Texas. These are the costs. These are the...
But see, that's the appropriate take, because when people are like, dude, Austin is sick, I'm like, Austin has its advantages.
No, I go, there was a lady...
They're out of their minds.
I was in Indianapolis, and a woman just was visiting her family. She lived in New York, and she was like, I got bits about moving from New York to Austin. She goes, I'm moving from New York to Austin. And I go, oh, how do you feel? She goes, I'm a little nervous. I go, do you like New York a lot? She goes, I love it. It's like my favorite place I've ever lived. And I go, it's so cheap in Austin. It's so cheap.
Economically,
how you like how everything's walkable and the food's unbelievable and you feel like you're in the center of the universe? None of that. But bank account gonna love it.
Bank account is gonna love it.
Yeah, this is a really fiscally responsible decision you're making.
It is.
I asked her why is she moving there, and she said my husband got a job, and I was like, oh,
you're gonna totally resent him.
Oh, you're gonna hate his guts.
He ruined your life.
You're gonna hate his fucking guts.
Tough.
In 3 weeks, you're gonna be like, why the fuck? It's 107.
I feel like Austin is a great place to move and then get a hobby that's unrelated to the city.
Dude, that's what I did.
Yeah.
Cycling.
There you go.
I got super into cycling. I'm wearing spandex, going on like 30-mile bike rides.
That's great.
Who am I?
It's a good place to get healthy because you're like, might as well run around this flat surface that's
I've
given
gone to the
to me.
gym way more than in.
Yeah.
I used to never go, 0 times.
Dude, I saw Napoleon Emile, and he's like, you lost a lot of weight. And
I thought you were just going to like tell me about the movie.
No, the Ridley Scott film.
Would have been on this. What a film.
Yeah.
It reminded me how much I like cycling. No.
Yeah.
I saw Napoleon. He's like, you lost a lot of weight. And I was like, yeah. He's like, I feel like most people go to Texas and gain weight. I was like, it's not fun to gain weight there.
No,
it's fun to get fat in New York.
It's 100 degrees. It's humid, and everyone's like, "Do you want to get brisket today?" I'm like,
Absolutely
"No,
not.
I don't want that at all. I would like perhaps a cold kale shake."
That all of these restaurants are outside.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Can we get a seat next to the smoker? Yeah. No, dude.
It's 107. I'm covered in mulch.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? This would go great with some jalapeno cheddar sauce.
Yeah, you know, gonna be good right now is a quart of mac and cheese.
Yeah, I want potato salad that's got a fly in it.
Yeah, I feel like barbecue is you come to Austin as a visitor, you do it, and then when you live here, you're like, what is it, once a month maybe?
Not
even.
It's 4 times a year.
4 times. It's a quarterly experience.
Because it is as much, it's like eating Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
It's a day ruiner.
It will ruin your day.
I fuck with the breakfast tacos.
Yeah, those are great.
That I could do.
But you're from California.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they're probably as good, if not better, there. It's the same, you know.
The breakfast taco scene is a bigger thing in Austin than in California. Like in California, I feel like there's a lot of breakfast burritos. There's a lot of great Mexican food, but for some reason, it's not as breakfast taco specific.
Whatever.
And I appreciate that about Austin.
those
The
are
Tex-Mex, because the Tex-Mex is what's different about Austin.
Yeah.
And New York has somehow no Mexican food.
No.
Every other cuisine,
you
it
gotta
does
go
well.
Taqueria. Taqueria St. Mark's or
Taqueria
Taqueria
St. Mark's
Gramercy.
is good.
Okay, I will. I haven't.
Go.
They're good.
Taqueria St. Mark's.
I've been trying to find one decent burrito that isn't 95% rice in New York, and I don't know why I'm trying.
No.
I should just stop and eat pizza, which I do.
There's a place in Williamsburg I fucking despise called like Super Burrito.
Yes.
I fucking hate that.
Yes.
Having a vendetta against a burrito place is a very New York experience.
Yeah.
Dude.
My favorite pizza spot and my least favorite Mexican place.
Well, it's so New York.
Dude,
it's like there's a backroom speakeasy where you can get like a $19 margarita, and you wait there in the cocktail lounge place while your burrito is being made.
Fucking
And then they
dick.
bring out the burrito,
not what
and it's
they
like
do.
too small. It's like
It's the least Mexican place I've ever been to in my entire life. It's like they hyper gentrified.
No, it's literally you walk in, you're like, oh, an Indian guy who works at a venture capitalist firm created this. There wasn't a single Mexican involved.
This is VC back.
Yeah, it's VC back. No, it's literally some billionaire being like, what if we charge? What about okay? Hear me out. What about $22 micheladas? What about that?
What about that? You see his fucking his purple Lamborghini.
Yeah, it's the guy. It's the guy from the All In podcast. He's like sitting in a fucking
Chamath.
Yeah,
he's like
Chamath.
What about this? Yeah. How about a Mexican restaurant, but it's the only restaurant where the chefs aren't Mexican?
Yes.
What about white people making expensive Mexican
Yeah.
food?
Yes.
You know what I love about Mexican food? How expensive it is.
Yes.
I love a burrito that's $22.
Yeah.
Insufferable white women will make a burrito.
Yeah,
dude, half the size of a normal
What if we
burrito,
made it
and we
Instagrammable?
charge
It's
the
literally
price.
Instagram world, dude. I hate that place.
Yeah. Now I want to go. Now I want to make a pilgrimage
out.
just
Do
to
it.
connect
It's in,
with
like,
you. And
it's off like Bedford.
You
and
hang with Mark, you can
6th
go
or
there.
something.
yeah, I'll hang with Mark. Mark
Mark likes it.
Mark probably
told
loves
me he liked it.
Of course,
Really?
Mark likes
Told
it.
me he likes
Yeah,
it.
but that's so
Mark,
him.
Mark Gagnon likes it on the 1 day per month he's allowed to have carbs. Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, I've been fasting for most of May.
Yes.
I read a book. I actually had the guy on my podcast, and he said that if you don't eat during the spring, you actually will gain more muscle in the winter.
This is
Thank
so
you.
great.
This feels so nice. to
He
hear.
knows Mark
This is,
pretty much as well as we do.
Yeah.
It's so because people that don't know
I
him,
love Mark,
Mark's
but
one of our
I
closest
have
friends.
to tell him how insane he is.
but people that
I
don't
do it
know
all the
Mark,
time.
Yeah.
like he's more than anyone I've ever met, maybe or know right now. People that don't know Mark really don't know Mark. Like you don't know Mark until you know Mark.
Yeah.
Because on the outside, he looks like a hot, chill, sexy, like streetwear
Yeah.
guy, and he's like on this cool podcast, like
lunatic.
complete psychopath.
like neurotic, like fasting and like praying.
The
and
fact that he hasn't officially founded a cult is him lying to himself every day. Like, I feel like to whatever extent he doesn't feel complete as a person, it's because he's not leading an ashram right now.
no, he should like be running a cult in like Wyoming where they're all sitting in cold plunges.
Yeah.
like a cold plunge Fitbit cult.
Yeah, he's for so.
It's a Whoop-based cult.
Yeah.
It's just about health data.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing how for someone who has a pile of the least fun hobbies on the planet, he's still such a fun person.
Yeah, I know.
It's actually
Yeah.
a true fascination
Yeah.
of mine. Yeah, you don't really know Mark until you've been left on red for 5 straight text messages and then had an hour-long call sprung upon you.
This is the classic Mark scenario.
No notes.
Yeah.
No notes.
I'll call Mark with like a technical problem about like.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you think about like?
Mark
this?
is running all of our YouTubes,
Yeah,
by the way.
Mark. Yeah,
Anyone who's
100%.
doing well in comedy online, Mark is behind it. Mark has constructed their
So
career.
I'm talking to him about like the length of an Instagram reel, and then we just talk for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And by the end, he's like, "Yeah, that's when I, just really came back to Christ." And like, I'm like, what? How
No,
did we
you
get
like
here?
imagine sitting someone down, like someone that knows him very lightly, someone that like just barely acquainted with him, and going, so he's actually a devoutly Catholic, borderline autistic genius, like data analyzing genius, like fitness obsessed, like it's it's like no, you have no idea.
Yeah.
He's like testing his VO2 max and reading the Old Testament, like,
And then also, like,
just sprinting reading the Bible.
sprinting, reading the Bible, won't like have a fucking snack with you because he's not eating that day, but then randomly will get fucked up with you at a different time.
No,
yeah, but you know it's penciled in.
Yeah,
It's penciled into this. If he's getting fucked up with you, he planned that for 3 months.
Yeah.
He decided to get fucked up with you in July and April.
You thought that was your decision?
He has it in his calendar right now, August 26, 11 p.m. I will have 7 drinks. And, he's
And I
gonna
can't wait
and
till
he's like,
August 26th.
It's gonna be lit, dude. He did this thing. It blew my mind. One of the first times I knew him in Florida forever, and then he moved to New York, and I didn't see him too much, and then he got way more into fitness and all this stuff. And I go with him, and he was like, "Would you like to go and eat a piece of chocolate with me?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll go and eat a piece of chocolate with you." And so we walk into a bodega.
It's such a relatable Mark story.
Perfect. And I go, yes, I would like to go and eat a piece of chocolate with you.
Because it's exciting. Because
Yeah,
you're like,
you're like,
I
oh,
had
wow.
chocolate yesterday, but this
I
guy
had
is
chocolate
about
for breakfast, but yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And then so
It's like a nun asking if you want a hand job.
So then he gets the chocolate. I swear to God, it's like 2 bars, right? It's like 2 of these, I forget what brand it is, but it's like 2 little bars stacked on top of each other that are like this big, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of like one of those Lindt or whatever.
Yes.
Lindor or whatever, Ghirardelli. And then he takes one and throws it away and then eats the other one.
Why?
Because he was like,
his macros
because
only
he was
allow
like,
for
I
one
can't-
square.
What?
Yes.
Well, he did offer it to me, and I already had my own chocolate. I was like, no, I'm fine. And then he just threw it away. He's like
psycho.
He goes, I could only allow.
Could only have one
Dude,
because he
can only
has
have
to
one.
run it through ChatGPT. He's not allowed to consume unless the
No.
computer
His
has
ChatGPT
reviewed
is
it.
like it can count his white blood cells.
Yeah, no,
he's got his whole
unbelievable.
brain. In
He's
there.
fed so much data into ChatGPT. I'm worried it's going to become predictive.
It's gonna
like,
be,
yes.
dude.
it
it's gonna
knows.
be-
It knows
No,
his
it's
next
gonna
few
know
months.
the day he dies. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna
Yeah,
predict the last day of his life.
No,
Like
it-
it's got that many metrics on it.
I'm gonna ask ChatGPT for like a recipe from what I have in my pantry, and then it's gonna be like, oh hey, it's Mark.
Yeah.
Do you?
me, Mark.
Mark becomes
Mark-
ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Mark will just be absorbed
Absorbed by
into
it.
ChatGPT.
Hey, Christoph, it's me, Mark. How's it going?
I've ascended consciousness.
Do
Yeah.
you speak to the computer? Do you talk to ChatGPT?
I started to more, and I don't like that I do because the thing is, like, it's so hyper useful. It pisses me off how useful
Yeah.
it is.
It's unbelievable.
It's the perfect thing.
It's bothering you. You're like, yeah, I can't have this in
Dude.
my life. He's
Well, no, because I just
Cucking
I
you.
just think about like the economic, like labor. I go, this is going to ruin so many jobs, and then
Yeah.
it's going to get rid of so many jobs. And me, when I go, I literally did the other day. I was like, I have tuna and this and that, and it's like, what can I make? And it was like, you could make tuna patties, and then I made the tuna cakes, and they were like really good. And I was like, God fucking damn.
if I was a nutritionist right now, I would be very afraid.
Yeah,
Because it's the perfect nutritionist. You can talk to it at any time.
I think right now we're in the phase. This happened with like other technological advancements, where right now people are taking advantage of it. So what's going on is there's a nutritionist who's taken on 4 times the amount of clients
Yes.
he can handle
Yes.
because ChatGPT is doing the work for him.
Yes.
And the
Yeah.
clients are the dumbasses.
Yes.
The nutritionist is the smart one.
yes.
And then he's not
the
getting his
clients
job
are gonna
replaced.
wise
He's
up.
quadrupling his clients. And they haven't caught up to
It's
it yet.
unfortunate how smart it is to kind of be a piece of shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's the best
Dude,
move.
I saw an ad for ChatGPT that was a professor making lesson plans with it. I'm like, this is the advertisement, and the advertisement is dystopian.
Yeah.
Dude, there's an article about this Asian kid, and he's just he
The
remains,
original ChatGPT.
yeah, he remains anonymous, but he basically says, I used it for my last year of high school work, and he says every time he uses it, it's 80% ChatGPT, 20% he adds in his own flair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He used it for the last year of high school work. He got into an Ivy League school.
Whoa.
He used it throughout. He's used it like his first 2 years
He's
of
got
school.
to be smart enough to do the SATs by himself.
Yeah.
though, so
Yeah.
he's not.
And he got himself like a super nice internship. He was basically like ChatGPT, like got me through high school, got me into an Ivy League
Wait,
school.
how did you know he was Asian?
Well, I mean,
His name?
no, actually, his name was like David or something.
Was it just the shape of his silhouette? You said he remained anonymous. I'm imagining like a silhouette. And the
You
guy
just
going,
assume that because he got into an Ivy
Are
League?
you just assuming? Did I just catch you on this? Why did you say he was Asian?
Maybe they never mentioned once that he was.
You were excited because you thought he was the first Asian to ever cheat.
Cheats,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was
He
the
just-
Jackie Robinson
Man.
of Asians doing math.
You caught me out of nowhere with that question. I don't think he was Asian.
Yeah, because you said because the first sentence was an Asian boy cheated, and then the next one he remained anonymous.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
yeah.
how is he Asian and anonymous?
This sounds like an SAT question on its own.
This
And
is
I'll
like
give you the
an-
answer. He was only anonymous.
Yeah, this is like one of those LSAT questions or
no.
whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
A, he was Asian and anonymous. B, he was.
What's funny about that is it's like it kind of like when I first hear that, I'm like, damn, that's crazy that this kid's cheating his way through college. But when you really think about it, you're like, oh, this forward-thinking student is using the tools that will make him successful later in life. He deserves to be at the Ivy League.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Who gives a fuck?
Use
Good for
what you
him.
got,
I don't
yeah.
care.
No, I do care. I'm gonna go.
That's-
ahead.
no,
I'm
I
gonna
love
pin a-
this,
I'm
yeah.
gonna put a pin on here. I'm gonna go say you should learn things.
Yeah, but
and then when you use ChatGPT, you do not learn anything.
But he's theoretically Chinese. He's going to learn stuff.
He is
anyway.
hypothetically
yeah,
Chinese.
he's hypothetically Asian.
No, what he's
you
going to
can learn things with ChatGPT. They're I was in the Catskills for some wedding, and I just instead of reading 1,000 articles, I was like, hey, tell me the history of this. I can just ask it questions. Mm-hmm. You can have a learning dialogue with it.
You can, but this is what I will say. You can also learn things from TikTok videos, but it is better to learn them from reading a book.
For sure.
Yeah, but
what am I going to do all day?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's cheap, fast information from a single source, which is not good. Remember when people didn't like Wikipedia? Now Wikipedia, if you read a Wikipedia, you're like a Rhodes Scholar.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
by
dude,
comparison.
You're like a guy who's like, we need to bring back blacksmiths. Like, you're right.
Any Smiths.
You talking books?
I feel like I'm about to get a wedgie.
Books, little book reading bitch. Look, I like book. I love reading, but we're so far past books.
Yeah, I know.
It is crazy that you can tell how your brain feels when you just sit down and read a book versus interfacing.
Yeah.
If you're on the computer, whether or not you learn, you're still like
jazzed
When
up.
you sit and read a book, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm having thoughts, I'm feeling things.
Space.
Yeah,
things are seeping around me.
There's no impending doom.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no existential angst with the book.
Yeah. Which makes you unqualified to live in the rest of society. You don't have the right level of constant anxiety when you're reading that you
then
really
the world won't
need
make
to
any
thrive.
fucking sense.
Yeah.
You go to a cabin after that.
Do you have the dream to like move to a cabin and just be a man of books? Because you got a beard.
It's a fantasy.
Yeah, you'd be a good cabin guy.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. No, I think it's just like a fantasy. It's not real, you know.
I mean, I could not. I would suck in the cabin.
Yeah, and also I'm not that
I'm
handy.
not built for that.
I'm not handy.
Yeah, no, I don't fix anything.
No, I can fix it. You mean like if something leaks, it's just leaking now.
Yeah, the concept of like going out there and like writing some beautiful work, but like I don't actually do that. No, you can write from wherever.
Yeah.
I always assume when if it's the summer, I go to the mountains or something, I'll be like, I'll probably write so many jokes out here. Nothing. I don't touch anything. And then you get back, you're like, fuck, I have a set tonight. You write 3.
Nothing.
Yeah.
No, you write jokes when you're like enraged or frustrated or like confused.
Yeah.
Or you just
You're not at peace.
No, something has to be a little off.
You don't write jokes on vacation.
No.
Yeah, you're like,
But
palm trees are funny.
I wish I had an artistic thing that I could do in a beautiful place because it would give me more of an excuse to go to beautiful
that's a great
places.
point.
It ain't stand-up.
No, it's not. Like
all these like famous writers, they always end up in like Tangier or like they end up in like these bustling weird places.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they still, I think, need chaos.
Yes.
You know, a lot of
but
them. They're not
that
doing
would
it
be
for-
awesome. If I moved to Morocco,
Yeah, that would be fire.
that would be sick. But like, I don't have the right addictions or to be a writer who does opium in like a North African country, someone who Anthony Bourdain would have looked up to. Like I'd love to be that guy.
That's so funny. I just watched I watched the Tangier Bourdain. He just talks about William S. Burroughs like smoking.
Yeah.
We're using the same foundation for this riff. I love that episode. That episode rules.
That Tangier episode, have you seen it?
Yeah.
It's so good.
That's where my riff was based on.
Oh yeah, me too. I watched it like 2 nights ago. It's awesome.
His Scotland episode in Edinburgh, he went to this old pub called the Oxford Bar because this guy Ian Rankin wrote all his books there, and then he and Ian Rankin just got shit-faced at the Oxford Bar.
So sick.
Then when I went to Edinburgh, I went to the Oxford Bar. It was me, my girlfriend, and 2 other guys, and nobody else in the entire pub, and we just sat there and got hammered for like 3 hours. And at the very end, the guy was like, by the way, I found out about this place through Anthony Bourdain. I was like, me too! Yeah. Like, we're just recreating the
he was
scene
local
in real
too,
life.
right?
I mean, he was the fucking best.
He's from Glasgow, the guy who
So he was a Scottish guy at least.
but he loved Bourdain.
Yeah, everybody loved Bourdain.
Yeah, he was great, except for I think Guy Fieri, who he like ruined.
He ruined the guy.
I think he started talking shit. He is. But I think he started talking shit about him, and then all of society was like, "Yeah, fuck that guy."
Fieri.
But then now, he's back.
Guy Fieri's doing better than Bourdain.
Well, yeah, Bourdain killed himself.
There's a stark difference right now, but you don't know.
their lives.
It's the end of Bourdain was so out of
would be funny
character
if-
with the rest of him, dude. Like ending it over a chick is some whack shit.
That's whack, but if you gotta watch the French
Did you watch
Alps.
that documentary about him?
What was it called? Like Road Runner or something?
I think it might have been. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have that modern. Yeah, but they show like how crazy he was about that girl. It was like nuts.
Yeah?
Like, yeah, it's crazy.
He got old man obsessed.
He got fully old man obsessed.
So true.
Happens to
Young, hot Italian. I think her mom or dad was like a famous Western director, like one of the best Western directors.
Yeah,
ever.
so he could like look up to her, and they would like jack each other off about artistry, and she'd be like, "Just do the art, show up and do the work," and he could live in his romantic thing. Some pussy should be illegal, bro.
Yeah,
they've ruined our boy.
She cheated on him with like a child.
Yeah.
Yes, and she like started Me Too. She was one of the first people to like
Me
bring
Too
out,
Harvey Weinstein.
then Me Too.
Argento. What's her first something?
Asia Argento.
Argento. Yeah.
Yeah, she
She's
was
Asian
a,
girl.
Asian Argento. Asian
Sounds
Argento.
like a bagel.
Sounds good right now.
Yeah,
Dude,
it does.
if you
Sesame
watch
seeds.
late Bourdain episodes, though, the guy that
started
found
getting
him
weird.
the guy that found him hanging was this French chef named Eric Repair, and he's one of his best friends.
Oh,
He
I
and
know
Eric's. I didn't realize he's the one who found him.
Yeah,
that
so he and
sucks.
Eric Repair go to the French Alps, and
Yeah.
they're like snowshoeing, and they're like in the cutest villages you've ever seen, eating like fresh cheese and pasta and whatever, and bread and like pate, and like they're
God,
having
I'm
time.
getting hungry.
They're having on paper the time of their lives. Dude, Bourdain is a miserable, negative Nancy the entire trip. And Repair is like a bubbly ball of joy.
Yeah, he's great.
And he's just like, he can barely drag Bourdain up to just even. He's being such a crotchety motherfucker, and he looks like sunburned and hungover the entire episode.
Yeah.
And it was one of the last ones, and you're like, this guy was...
He was sliding.
Yeah,
he was sliding.
Dude, he could, because he's got this like obsessive negative thought thing the whole episode, which like feels like what a suicidal person's brain would be like.
Yeah.
Where he can't see the good in anything. Everything he does, he's like, I fucking hate this place. Why is it so fucking cute? Like, he's,
He's mad at it for working.
they're snowshoeing
for
through the
being
French
good.
Alps, and he's like, these snowshoes are fucking stupid. Why does anyone use these? They're so like, this is a
Oh,
waste
man.
of fucking time.
Ah,
like,
it's
he's
so-
so pissed the entire time, and he's openly furious at Eric Repair's joy. He's like, this guy fucking loves everything. It's like, do you ever have a bad day? Like,
Jeez,
so
like,
yes, but not when I'm snowshoeing through the fucking Alps
Right,
with
yeah,
my boy.
yeah,
eating
relax.
cheese and
No,
having lovely drinks and enjoying life.
You can't enjoy that. I mean, good lord.
Yeah.
It's when your brain is stuck on something, and he was an addict earlier in his life, and he clearly got addicted to whatever this negative love affair was. Like,
Yeah,
it's
it's
so
completely
depressing
toxic.
how you can
Yeah.
be in heaven, living the fucking dream, having the perfect life, and still be in hell.
Did
Yeah.
she
If you don't
dump
guard
him?
your...
Yeah. She left him for like the child actor, I think.
I thought she just like had a one night stand with the child.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I think it was a tabloid thing that he found out like through like
tabloid.
tabloids.
It was like, it was like a publicly
Yeah.
kind of like messy thing where she was fooling around on him.
Yes.
And
Old man
with like
obsessed is a great
who
description.
was it though? It was like
Right?
a famous guy, wasn't it?
He's an actor. Jimmy something.
Oh, okay, never mind.
It was some public figure. I don't know
mixed
who it was.
her up with Olivia Wilde, and that was like Jason Sudeikis. She like left him for like Harry Styles.
Yeah, no, this was
And
like
Harry Styles was like 22, and Olivia Wilde's like 36. You know?
no, this kid was doing like side roles in Cobra Kai or whatever. Like he was just like a kind of like a young obscure twink.
You're
in
like, I'm the
business.
coolest guy in the world, and I'm getting cucked by a young, obscure twink.
Yeah.
Now
He was like
now
the type
he's
of-
not the
YOT,
coolest guy in the
dude.
world.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, kind of cucking it.
Funny she Me Too people, but he's the exact type of kid that gets diddled in Hollywood.
Of
Was this
course.
kid. Like
Yeah.
a kid who's like on the come up but hasn't hit the big role yet. There's someone that wants to watch you jerk off that hasn't yet.
Yeah.
And that guy's standing in between you and the
Yeah,
next
and she
Chalamet.
wasn't that young, right? She
No,
was
she was
younger
like
than
40,
Bourdain, but yeah,
48.
she was a
She was in her
adult.
40s, I think.
But yeah, I mean, Belichick's got the young girl obsessed now.
I am so, dude, as a Bills fan.
Oh yeah, you gotta
As a
be
Bills
loving
fan,
Happy
it.
about it?
I'm elated. It's one of the best things going in my life personally right now. Is Bill Belichick's
I'm happy
saga.
for you.
Yeah, thank you, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate
you
it.
know, you've
She's
been
not
through
even
a lot.
hot.
I just keep outside. I'm in a group chat with my Boston
No,
buddies.
but when you're 70, dude.
I know, that's what I mean.
yeah.
But she's not like stunning.
But he's a geriatric fucking.
I'm just saying, couldn't you get like a hot 50-year-old?
That's
I would love that, but a 50-year-old would behave differently. I think he likes whatever weird, crazy
No, but-
energy is getting
dude,
brought into his
dude,
life.
you ever hear old guys talk about chicks? My dad is, but Dude, they think
youth itself is what's attractive.
Bro, a girl could be 26 and look like Brendan Sagalow. They're like, she's the hottest girl I've ever seen.
Get a load of this one over there rapping.
They're
the real Slim Shady. She's fucking hot.
Did you hear her freestyle? She's so fucking sexy.
It is true, dude. They lose their minds.
Dude, old guys
they see
love
a young woman
chicks.
and they're like, there is something that once you know you're like not going to experience it, it changes your view of it because you're like, boy, if I had a week where I could do whatever, I'd be going to Pound Town.
Every old guy. If I was 30 years younger.
Yeah.
If I was 30 years younger.
And then meanwhile, the guys who are 30 years younger are like, I don't know if I want to go through the work with this one. She looks kind of yeah, she looks kind of annoying.
By the way, I'm calling bullshit. I'm calling
like a nightmare.
Calling bullshit on the old guys. I don't think they got as much pussy as they're claiming. These old guys, you'd think that they were all fucking James Dean.
They're speaking about it like drug addicts speak about when they used to do heroin.
Yeah,
like, boy, back in my day, fuck.
You're embellishing.
Glad I don't do it anymore, but
you're embellishing a bit.
Can I tell you some stories?
Well, you know what I think
the old guy body count is inflated. It's inflated
100%.
just
It's
like the
definitely
dollar.
inflated, but here's the thing: they get zero pussy now.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So it's like an undefinable amount of more pussy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you're at zero and you fucked 17 women between 20 and 35,
Yes.
you're like, I got so much pussy.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like the way that we look at like Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wouldn't feast in this day's
No,
game, but you
right,
gotta appreciate the numbers for what
you
they
were like,
were.
hey, he played both sides of the ball. He's a home run champion.
100%.
Like, you can't take that away from him.
And at this point, you know, pussy is a construct to them. It's not a real thing. It's a concept. It's a way of life. It's a state of being.
Yeah, completely correct.
Yeah. And they just have to acquire it through like buying a new car.
Yeah,
You know, and
it gets like it gets transfigured into Corvettes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have sexual energy, but it's not always related to sex.
No, it is funny. You see an old guy buy a pontoon boat, you're like, damn, dude, you were so horny.
Yeah.
You're just bricked up at
Just
the
want
bar.
to stick this thing in the wet water. Don't want to
Stick my fucking line.
I'm gonna get a Traeger grill.
since no one will smoke my meat, I might as well.
Just a blue bald old guy. The amount of Ducatis that have been bought.
come on the pastrami.
Yeah. And I want to be clear, that's coming for all of us. I'm very close to it.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yeah,
fucking
100%.
ready,
Tomorrow.
I want to, all my sexual energy will be transfigured into gadgets.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I love
It's
gadgets.
the male way.
I
dude.
made a list of things I want when I get some money.
I like
Nice.
that.
Yeah,
like what?
that's
Like
cool.
a ride-a mower?
You have a vision board, huh?
I do have a vision
You do
board,
not
but-
strike me as a vision board guy. You don't have vision board energy.
It's not a vision board. It's just a list.
Yeah.
It's not there's not pictures, even though I did think about doing that.
Yeah.
I want first of all, 4-door sedan, 6-cylinder. All right,
Sure,
off rip.
reasonable.
Doesn't have to be anything nice. Fucking Accord, a Honda Accord, a new Accord. Get the fuck out of here. 4 doors.
Come
6
on,
cylinders.
brother.
Come on, fuck off. And then what do I want? I want a listening room.
Go on that.
I want a chaise lounge in there.
So
And
listening room-
records, chaise lounge, hi-fi setup, whiskey globe.
Wow, that's pretty good.
I like that.
That was pretty good, top to bottom.
I would love. I'm envisioning you in your listening room, but you're throwing records of podcasts on. Like, oh, dude, Rogan on vinyl is crazy.
2019 Come Town.
Do you think there will be vintage eps? Like as adults, we'll be like, "Come on over, I got that."
I don't know.
We've got
It's gonna-
WTF on vinyl.
Young Marin. You guys don't know anything about Young Marin. He only had one cat back then.
I'm just ignoring my family. They hear from the other. Who are your guys? just from the other room. Don't bother Pops when he's listening to his Marin.
Grandpa enjoy it.
Let him listen to his Marin.
Is he listening to a Bill Simmons from 2013?
It's just, Daddy, Dad. The door's locked. He's like, okay, so top 14 in the Easter Conference.
The year is 2014.
Yeah. He's
We're
like,
looking ahead to the 2015.
Oh, that's
Your
a
kids
vintage
are-
Tatum take.
Yeah, your kids are banging on the door. He's like, so do you think Tatum's got like another level? Dad,
Vintage sports podcast is the saddest thing I can imagine.
Yeah. Your kids ask you for advice. You're like, I don't have any, but you know who has some life advice? Ryan Russillo.
Yeah.
Pop Pop's laugh.
Your wife is like actively filing for divorce in the other room. You're just blasting Russillo. Like, Ant's been phenomenal on the transition. Ant on the transition defense has been one of the best in the league the last 2 months.
Russillo doing time-stamped NBA recaps where he's like 103, 101 at this point, 2 minutes 59 seconds left.
Dude.
It's a foul. You get why they do the foul there,
Dude. It's
But
unreal.
From 12 years
My
ago.
favorite part of Russillo is that like he lives on Manhattan Beach.
Yes.
So like when you see his podcast, it's like one of the most coveted coastline. Like he lives in true prime real estate.
Yep.
And you're looking at like a picturesque vacation background behind his shoulders, and you're like, this fucking guy just sits in here watching fucking Pacers Nuggets and like
with the ocean at his back.
Yes.
And
So
he's
fire.
watching Pistons,
Yeah. Like this guy's in like a fuck you Qatar money, like money laundering house on the Pacific coastline, and he's watching like a Bulls Pistons game in November. It's like
he is living a life
like a
in which
pre-All-Star
all of us
break.
would be so much happier in, but he does not seem to be appreciating it. And I
Is
think
he
that's
not
what
happy
makes
at
him
all? I don't know this
Dude,
guy at
I would
all.
say he's a 50-year-old man. He's made a ton of money podcasting. He's like super in-depth breakdowns of the NBA for
Okay.
years and years and years. He's really good at it, but he watches every second of every game and timestamps them in his notes and then recaps them on the podcast. Made a bunch of money podcasting, so he lives in like a mansion a block away from Manhattan Beach, and you could see the beach in the background when he's podcasting. But he's like 50 years old. He has no girlfriend. He's got no kids.
Oh, God.
Because he's become a multimillionaire and ruined his life simultaneously
By doing basketball
off of a
podcasts.
basketball obsession.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's so fun. It's
But
like,
he likes he does he's
likes it.
a person who does his things. Like he's comfortable with like he likes to go to a restaurant, be alone. He doesn't like social engagements. He strikes me as someone who probably has one drink a
dude,
week.
it's the final evolution of sports autism.
Yeah.
It really is like the highest level of
and it
sports
speaks to people.
autism. Yeah.
People love that shit.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
just a guy sitting at a mega mansion.
I haven't gotten that deep into sports. I still just watch highlights.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of baseball highlights. I watch old UFC fights.
The sports podcasts are phenomenal ways to completely disassociate.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I want something on,
But
so
I
that
don't-
it's in my ear. But I don't want to take in politics right now.
No.
I don't listen to a ton of comedy podcasts, so I watched that game. I'll hear someone talk about it,
the
and then
game.
realize I haven't been listening for 25
Dude,
minutes.
no, I know. But then
Yeah.
I do the same thing with that disassociating thing. It's like a weird form of anxiety. But then
It's
like
kind
I
of
come out of
comforting,
like
though.
a 10-day haze, and I'm like, the only person I've talked to is Zach Love for the last week. Like, you're just like,
There's something about specifically the basketball podcast where there are a lot of people like.
Yeah.
I think basketball podcasts are slightly more popular than watching basketball games.
yes.
There's this like nerd core like
can
community
tiz-
of breakdowns.
You can tiz out about basketball in
Yeah.
a way that you can't with the other sports because there's so many games and there's so many players, and each individual player, every little movement they do can be analyzed.
Correct. And I have listened to hundreds of hours of basketball analysis, and I don't think I've actually retained any of it. I'll watch a game
You
and
should
just
be
be
like
like, nice three.
Yeah.
You should be like a basketball expert now.
No, we
I
should
should
we
be, but I
be
don't.
true
Even, I
blue
don't really
connoisseurs.
even know what like a triangle defense is.
No,
I
me
just
either.
I just know that it feels smart when I hear other people talking about
Dude,
it.
I barely know what the pick and roll means.
Yes.
Like, I'm like,
I think it's just a screen.
Yeah, I think it's
I
a
think it's
screen.
just a screen.
But
They're
I've
like, what's a
listened to
high
these
pick and roll
guys-
league?
I've listened to
Everyone
these
knows
guys-
high pick and roll league.
Yeah,
First
high
off,
pick
you
and roll
fucking-
league. I don't watch basketball. I'm sorry.
You don't have to. Just listen to the pod.
Okay,
just
well,
for
I'll clock
hours.
it. I'll clock
Just
it.
listen to Bill Simmons drive yourself.
listen, yeah.
You'll be where we're at. You'll
I'll listen to one
retain-
episode and we have the same
You
amount
can
of
listen to
info.
100 episodes.
So
and
we
you'll
have-
retain
we know the
zero
same
They'll
amount.
go so
information.
deep. Bill Simmons will be like, let's do a redraft of the 2003 draft.
Oh,
and they'll go through every pick and be like, do you think that the Nuggets would still take this guy?
Yeah. Oh, dude, they'll do
Oh
the
my
redraft.
God.
It's unreal. It's unreal.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what
Simmons
the
will go
equivalent-
top 13 players in the NBA under age 26. Well, let's do the top 7 of the top 13. Like,
it's
odd
insane.
numbers.
And I think that the thought that I'm hearing the numbers makes me think I'm doing something smart
I'm
while
Yeah.
also
fully-
not having to exert
because
my brain.
statistics are involved. It sounds
Yeah.
clever.
Yeah.
Baseball's
100%.
really great with that.
It's phenomenal at it.
Yeah.
But I don't listen to any baseball podcasts.
I watch some baseball YouTubers I really like.
YouTube is great for the nerding out on sports, and
There's
you
one
actually
called,
do
like-
learn from the YouTube
There's
stuff.
one called Made the Cut I really like.
Yeah.
And Made the Cut is just he'll just talk about a single pitch for 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, how did he set this up? What's like the tunneling on this? Let's compare his fastball to his slider. This is the last time he faced this guy, and look, strike 3. And that's the whole video.
That is the secret to what makes sports great is like so many people be like, I don't watch baseball, it's boring. And it's like, you don't understand physics. You don't know.
What do you know about RPM?
If you actually are watching a baseball game and you're engaged, and I flip back and forth between, I just like having sports on, so it's on and I'm working and it's just washing over me and I'm like, oh, that happened. But then sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna focus on this.
Yeah.
And if you watch a baseball game and you're like, okay, runner's on second, he's a threat to steal third, a breaking pitch might be dangerous here because the catcher's gonna have to block it and this guy loves to steal on the break and like all this, but it is 0-2 and you want to waste one and you're like locked in, then it gets amazing. But you could just be like, it's slow. It's not if you're paying attention to every fucking pitch.
There's so much tension in baseball that if you don't understand what's going on, it can just feel like nothing's going on.
Yeah.
There's just high stakes. It's like something could happen that's insane.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? Or whatever.
Yeah, no, a huge...
It's also like, it's almost like chess sometimes. There's just small positional...
It's like chess.
It's
a lot
like
of
chess.
times.
There's small like positional advantages, like if each play to thing, you know, whatever.
It's like chess, and that Asians are great at it.
Asians are good at it,
true.
and well, Latinos are. So I don't. Anyway,
It's
like boxing,
dude. There's a guy, Jason Timpf, who's like a big basketball nerd podcaster. Yada yada. Same brand, same line, same genre. And he broke down. He had like a whole breakdown video of Alex Caruso's defense last night. Yeah, that my buddy sent me. He's like, "This is insane." My buddy's a big nerd about it. Yeah, it was Alex Caruso like, getting around the screen and then following Anthony's like, so here he knows that the refs aren't calling when it like the on-ball D, but they're calling fouls at the rim. So he like presses him really hard, and then once Ant gets the angle, he pulls up. It's like genius defense. Dude, the ball went in the hoop. Like on the most basic level,
it's not
he
genius
was
defense.
defending the guy, and the guy scored.
Yeah.
The ball went into the hoop,
and he's like, "You wouldn't understand."
Yeah, he was like, "This is brilliant."
But I love that because then I can watch sports and just be like, "There's so much going on."
Yeah,
I can tell my wife. She's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "I could barely even. I don't know where to start on this."
Yeah, no,
one.
it'll be like, someone strikes out or whatever, or they they allow the point in basketball, and then I'm watching. I go, he did everything right, though.
Yeah, he did everything. That's just great ball.
That's great ball on both
Start
ends.
watching it as a coach. I can live with that bucket. I can live with that bucket all day. As long as we're thinking, dude. As long as that's smart ball. We'll live with that bucket. We just can't make mental mistakes.
I have a whistle.
But that's how you're supposed to watch sports. Like that can happen with golf too. Like if you're like into the Masters and by day 4 you're like, I know every hole. And so the drive is on one side, you're like, it's in the fairway. It's like, that's not the side of the fairway you want to be on. And then you assume you're going to go out and play golf, and it's anything like that. You can't even control the fucking ball.
Dude, golf's impossible.
I love it. It's great. I'm not great at it, but it's awesome.
I can't, but you must, from my perspective, I bet I'd think.
Do you golf in Queens?
I mean,
Forest Park's fun.
I rarely golf in New York. Okay. I didn't even bring my clubs out there, but I go back home to California enough, and then I'll just like golf like a bunch of days in a row. So what I've done is allowed myself to still devote a lot of time and money to the sport while not getting better over a series of years by being incredibly streaky. But I've played in New York a couple times. I played at West Point, which is actually an interesting course. But I'm like renting clubs out there, and then if you get a shit bag when you're renting, the whole day you're like, okay, well I'm hitting this with a fucking club from 1930. I golfed in
the Bronx once. White. What's it called? Whitestone or White
Hobby?
Not White Plains. Fuck, what is it called? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It was the original Union Bagel out there.
Nice.
Do you guys golf out here? I mean, do you golf? Are you golf boys?
I suck.
I quit.
Okay. Yeah, so compared to that, I'm good. Like, I can play rounds at really nice courses, but I'm not going to.
No, the last time I played, I quit forever the last time I played.
That's fire. But that's part of the process.
Yeah.
That's 100% part of the golf
you'll be
process.
back.
I just was like, I can't actively do something I'm this bad at. I refuse to do. I have too much pride.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't think I have the confidence to do something consistently that I suck this much at.
Yeah, that's it. It breaks you.
Yeah, it
breaks you because you're like,
I'm
an idiot.
Hard.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, it's
I was
really
telling
hard.
him, I'm like, dude, I like to box.
yeah,
Dude, if you went and boxed for the first time,
yeah.
you're gonna hit the fucking mitts. You're gonna. The guy goes, hit the heavy bag. You're gonna make contact with the fucking bag.
I'd take a bad day on the golf course versus a bad day sparring, though, dude.
Yeah,
Sparring's another thing.
Your head fucked.
But dude, there's so many times.
But that
where
is kind of like what golf is. It's like you basically going out and trying to play like a relatively difficult course is like sparring when you don't box.
Yeah.
Whereas hitting the mitts would be like going to the driving range.
But dude,
Yeah.
the first step of golf is take the ball, hit it that way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't do it. I
Yeah.
can't do step one. Hit
Yeah.
it fucking
Were you
straight.
a ball and stick man?
What do you mean?
Like I grew up playing ice hockey and baseball, so I've always been a ball and stick man.
No, I
so
played football.
golf. Okay, yeah.
No.
It's hard to
That's a
like
great
teach
point.
your body how to hit things if you haven't been doing it your whole life.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like Jake was like a D1 offensive lineman,
Yeah.
and then seeing him swing, it's like he's never played anything.
It's
in
a
his
completely
entire life.
different
Yeah,
thing.
he was
though.
an
It's like trying
O-lineman
to
at-
draw left hand.
He was
Yeah,
no
it's
lineman at
crazy.
UCF.
Really?
Yeah, he was the O lineman at UCF, and it's like it's so funny watching him do it. It's like you think he was the least athletic man of all time, and you're like, this guy-
O-line's a very specific athleticism.
But I'm saying you think it's just general coordination. Just,
Yeah.
there's zero crossover.
yeah.
No.
Yeah, I
That's a
played
great point, the
baseball.
ball
I'm
and
okay
stick.
at it.
Yeah.
I can hit the driver, then nothing else.
Really?
I'm not nasty, but compared to everything else, I'm good with a driver. I can hit it straight like 200.
You're at a level where it's
200
like
yards.
you should like go to Top Golf with your friends and like
Yeah.
crush some
Yeah.
beers and
Though
have
that's
nachos
fun. I'll
and
have
ship
fun
it
doing
out.
that.
That's about all you need at this
I like a
point.
driving
From
range.
from switching it
Yeah.
from
A
here,
regular driving range.
here to
I kinda-
here, like you're coming like while my arm's coming down, my hand needs to be here instead of here.
What is great for me is I don't have to think about any of that. So I've never like had a lesson. I don't watch like the YouTube videos, but I just have like I've played since I was a kid, not
Yeah.
at a high level, but just been around it. So I just kind of know how to swing the thing.
Yeah.
So I don't have to think about like hand. Because once
Yeah.
you're doing that, it feels like you're decoding a nuclear bomb. You know?
My best friend's also unbelievable.
Yeah.
Scratch
Yeah.
golfer, like incredible.
So you're just watching him like you're just doing something. It's a different
Completely
game.
Yeah,
different
playing.
thing.
And I'm like, I mean, I could live 10 lifetimes. I won't even touch. Where
It's
you're
fun
at.
to go golfing with friends who all suck at a bad course.
Yeah.
He makes it fun though because he's so good that he thinks guys that nerd out about it are like gay.
I have a lot of these guys. The guys that
Yes.
are really into it are like
They're usually kind of mid. If you're like so nerded out about
Yes.
it, you're probably just like
The guys
okay
who-
at it and you want to be.
the guys who are actually good are like stop overthinking
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
and they'll be
yeah.
like, "Fuck it, let's just play a scramble. You come
He's
hit
like,
with
"What
my
are you
ball.
wearing?"
Let's just make it fun."
No, he's always
Yeah.
these guys are wearing like aerodynamic shirts. What are you doing? Like he thinks it's so
Yeah.
goofy,
And he's
It's
right.
Like, it's like the way we'd look at a guy who like has a very distinct writing process. Of I write 2 hours a day and I blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
blah.
it's
And then
like,
I,
did you
listen
kill or
back to
not?
the
Yeah,
things and
how'd the set go?
transcribe the set. Like that's how we'd look at like that guy, like an open micer who's like way overthinking it, and you're like,
Like
just
I
go be funny,
translated
man.
into
They'll come up to
Spanish
you and try and tell you about their process, and I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, I don't care.
You're
Yeah.
like, brother, just
Let's
go
see
be
the
funny.
result.
Yeah, I've never cared about anyone's process like at all.
No,
Like, or just
I
like,
used to when I was trying to learn and I wanted to like listen to
Yeah,
podcasts
yeah.
of like how do people do it, but everyone does it super different. Some people sit down and write. Some people are like writing is stupid. You got to do it all on stage.
I also got back to the original point. I'm actually at a zen place with stand up where I'm like, you're either being funny or you're not.
Yeah.
You're either being
kinda
funny or
loops
you're not
back
being.
around.
Yeah, you get back to the basics where you go, you're either being funny or you're not being funny.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Whether or not you're transcribing shit with noise canceling headphones or whatever, like it doesn't fucking matter how many notebooks you've written in.
All that matters is your social media analytics.
Yeah, that's true.
The only thing that matters
Search engine
is are the clips
optimization.
crushing.
Dude, I made my buddy so depressed because there's a buddy of mine who's been doing comedy for a while, and I was like, if I had to give a young guy advice right now, I'd say get a trainer and a nutritionist. You want to be big in comedy, bro?
Yeah, my advice,
Yeah.
biceps.
Yeah,
So,
weighted crunches,
yeah.
weighted crunches, keto diet.
Yeah, or the opposite, or just like be insane looking, so that you pop on. Like some people's appearance is a hook on social media already.
That's the other advice is be 98 years old.
Yeah, be old or get in an accident of some kind.
Yes.
Yeah,
gain 400 pounds.
Cut your own leg off.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to do it.
There's easy ways.
There's easy ways to
Yeah, it's simple.
You just got to cut through, dude. How much do you want it?
I think I'm gonna burn my face.
I'm like, okay, can't let the oven on.
Yeah,
I'm like, Chris.
And people like, I like that comedian. What is the one with the melted face? Yeah.
And
like,
my
people
Instagram
are like,
is
you still-
melt face.
Yeah.
Melt face to comic.
People are like, you still hang out with Christoph? I'm like, nah, dude. He's taking his career really seriously. He's like really in.
All my
his
jokes
career.
are about like. All my jokes are like it's just like. Is it hot in here or is it just me? Everything is about how I'm burning up in here.
Somebody turn the AC on.
Yeah, it's all burn puns.
Keep that water away from me. I'll melt. Too late. Candle lit comedy.
That'd be good. First special.
Yeah. No, it's good. Things are good.
First special is called Burning Up.
Have you been in New York more? Because you're never there.
I'm on the road a ton, but yeah, I've been around a little bit. It's kind of funny because I love living there, but I feel like I'm not as in the scene. Like I come to Austin for a week, I'm like I see all my friends and I get spots and I have a good time, and then I go back to New York and I have places that I go and I do sesh in New York Comedy Club and like I love it, but I'm not there enough to feel like I'm like deep in a New York scene of it. But no one is because everyone's just doing spots and running around. There's not like a
there's not a scene place like this, and I also think like the people doing really well in New York are never there.
Correct.
So that's
it's a bunch of people who are just on the road.
Yeah,
and then it's like, but it's fucking sick to go back to New York and just be there for a few days and like, it's an inspiring place to live.
Yeah, I mean, I've thought like if I was selling a lot of tickets, it'd be a fun place to live. And just not do that many spots there.
Yeah,
honestly, like,
I'll do spots every week, but I'm not out every night. Like when I get back off the road, like it's the amount of fucking editing and computer work that I have to do. I'm like, I'll just be at my computer until midnight or 1 a.m. just fucking working on all my shit that helps me continue going on the road.
It's also like New York's fun to hang in.
Yeah.
So like it's more fun to hang there than do stand-up.
Dude, and like a couple of my good friends one of my best friends lives in my building.
Yeah.
So I'm on 26. I can take the elevator down, see the boys.
That's
great. Know, it's a good life. I won't live there forever. Because I don't want to necessarily raise a family in a closet.
Yeah. You think you'd move back to Cali?
Awesome. My ultimate dream is like a few more years in New York, maybe a couple years here as I work my way west and just hang. Because I like the crew here. Yeah. And then my ultimate goal is to get enough comedians with enough reach and podcasts and whatever to, instead of going back to LA, go to San Diego. Nice. And all just enjoy our lives. There's 5 clubs there. You can do spots, but I want enough of a like crew that we can have like a little comedy community, but live in San Diego by the beach. That's or I'll just go back to the Bay Area, which
it's
I love.
Fun. Yeah, my buddy who's the amazing golfer lives there.
Yeah,
doing stand up in San Diego is awesome because it's just such a bro fest.
Yeah,
I mean it's
yeah. And it has the effect of like, you know, what people like about Austin.
It makes
is
Austin
it's
look
purpley.
like a fucking anime convention. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, there's a lot of bros out there.
Bros?
Yeah, a lot of bros.
It's like that. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, that's the thing that I should think about is it might have a negative impact on my work.
Yeah,
he's just going out, you know, trying to make jokes work in New York, and it's like, dude, you ever be fucking wrecking your longboard? Like, and then be like, you know what, dude, like life's not that bad. Talking about how honestly, to our point about trying to create in places that are nice and beautiful, maybe San Diego's not the vibe, but I went to college there, and so I kind of like started for a few years like doing open mics and stuff down there, and it's like it's fun.
I wonder too, I've had this theory that beautiful places make people stupid.
Definitely. I mean, people are like retarded.
Like, like if you just look at like a beautiful sunset long enough, like your brain just like it turns off. Like it more than just relaxes you. It makes you like.
Yeah, because you're at peace, so your
so
frantic brain doesn't have to sprint somewhere interesting.
Yeah.
That's actually
because anxiety and creativity are like right next to each other.
Yeah.
So if you're just like.
But what about like the transcendentalists? What about like Henry David Thoreau and all these guys that like went to the wilderness and that created their best
they were
work?
in the
I mean, they
woods.
weren't funny.
Yeah, they
I'll
weren't.
tell you that.
They were not hilarious. No. Second of all, I mean, well, what Thoreau did like on Walden Lake or whatever. Like, he had to do that because he lived in the city most of the time, so that's part of it. And then also, like, what is he transcending? And then he goes there, and I don't know. I had a point about this. Hold on, I was getting there.
Funny people come from places with like snowy abandoned factories and Italian restaurants. Like the funniest people are like Boston,
it's
Long
funny to
Island,
watch people
New York,
lose their
Philly,
minds.
Jersey.
Yeah.
It's funny to watch people be like, Jesus Christ. If someone's just like, I'm kind of at peace right now. It's like,
things are cool.
Good for you, but I don't necessarily need to listen to that.
No.
No.
You
But-
ever go to like Miami, you see the local comics there, you're like, what is going on here?
Yeah,
What is going
Miami
on
is a
here?
Like place.
Like, he's just like crazy.
Yeah, no one's. I don't know how creative they are in Miami. I mean, they're really whipping up NFTs and.
This is good. I might be questioning my my approach here.
Well, you can
But
still,
I also like. What I want is to get successful enough that I can chase my own happiness, and if my work falls off at that point. Whatever, man.
Yeah. If you're happy, it doesn't
if
matter.
I'm at peace, that's half the
I was
point of
gonna say,
fucking
no,
being
that's
here.
the best place to be in is when people go, he's not as funny as
Yeah,
he
like
used
he
to be.
fell off. I'm like,
You
I
got
don't
millions
know.
of dollars at that point. If people are saying you're not as funny as you used to be,
Yeah,
You-
he
at
doesn't
one
talk
point you were
about
doing
real
great.
shit anymore. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, whatever.
How pretty is Walden Pond, though?
Yeah, it might be a shit bucket.
I don't even
Walden
think it's
Pond?
that nice. That's where Thoreau went, right?
Yeah, if you're inspired by a pond, you're a sick fuck.
Yeah, I mean,
You need like a
it's
lake,
a pond.
or or like something.
It can't be that
bigger.
nice. It's a goddamn pond.
no, you can stay funny in Austin because it's a dump.
Yeah, it sucks just enough, but you can still have your own like hobbies and like
I mean, it's
lifestyle
nice.
things.
It's not blowing my mind, Walden Pond.
You can have. Oh, well,
It looks like it could be in Austin, you know? I mean, it's like, it's like pine brush and some, the leaves change color. I mean, it's nice. It's not blowing my mind here.
Sure, yeah,
It's
that's a
not-
dime a dozen.
It's not the
Yeah.
Pacific Coast.
No.
no.
It's not a fucking. But then, so he's there, right? And where is Walden Pond? It's in the fucking Boston, right?
Yeah, I feel like they were like all like just outside of New York. They were like,
Like it's
Valley.
just outside of Boston. It's in Concord, Massachusetts.
yeah, you're right. That's not pretty at all.
So is it not? Is it?
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. Okay,
I
I'm
don't.
just
I don't know
curious.
at all. But I just, I've been to Hawaii.
That's right.
yeah, like I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. This is just my working theory here.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Because sometimes I
Because
think
where are
like
the dumb places? People think California. No offense, they think they're kind of like airhead,
Yes.
dude, like that guy.
But I also grew up in Silicon Valley, which is like the nerd capital of the planet.
They're all
But they
transplants.
came in. Yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
And
Yeah,
then
but
also
you're
you
the
got Florida.
rare-
Florida's a bunch of morons.
dude, you're the rare breed of white guy from California who's not a fucking freak.
What do you mean?
When I'm down there, dude, it's like, okay, the Mexicans are cool. They got
For
their own
sure.
thing, and they're just
Absolutely.
They're Mexicans.
They're doing their shit.
They're just
bro.
Mexicans
They're just
there.
being-
They're
they're
Mexicans
Mexican
here.
and
A lot of
being
trumpet.
Mexican, and they're awesome. They're having fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
They're listening to mariachi music, and they're building a roof, and they're fucking
Vibes.
drinking Modelo's.
Yeah.
It's great.
Fuck yeah.
And then the Filipinos are kind of similar. They got their own thing.
Yeah, they can say the
They
N-word.
got their own thing. They say the N word.
Yeah.
The N-word.
You know what I mean? It's cool.
Jordans,
thing.
yeah.
But like, I get real bugged out by the white people in Cali. They're just a little fucking.
Little,
My neck
just
of the woods,
where is
we
it
would say
going?
stunad. Like they're a little fucking.
They're stupid.
They're a
little
little
stunad?
They're a little stunad. They're a little just. They're a little like not fully plugged into life on
Yeah.
Earth.
Yeah, they're like what Chad and JT are like
Yes,
mimicking.
exactly.
But like, with JT, you're like, oh, there's a person. I don't know
Yeah.
Chad as well. But either way, like
Yeah.
there's like they're like doing a character, but
Yes.
it's like the version of that guy that actually doesn't know what's going on is kind of insane.
Yeah, they're like when you pull the vacuum too far and the plug comes halfway out of
Yeah,
the outlet and it's going
yeah.
on and off. That's like a California guy where
I
I'm like,
will
you're
say,
not
I think when
pulling
people
it out.
talk about California guy, you're most specifically talking about SoCal, though.
That's what my
Yeah.
Because
girlfriend
it is a
said.
SoCal guy
like Northern
thing, and like
California.
I'm from the Bay Area, and
Yes.
it's like there's some just normal human beings
Yeah.
up there,
Yeah.
and that's the problem. Is I'm like San Diego is awesome, but I'm like, my wife and I talk about it, I'm like, I don't know if I can raise
So
a
why
SoCal
do you,
kid.
Why
Yeah,
do you
no.
think there's that? Is it just a surfer thing? What is that?
It's kind of what we've been talking about. I think it's just like
Their
the
sun-
ocean is pacified them.
Yes.
and all of a sudden
100%.
they're too comfortable, and that either brings them to to a nice place, or they're just missing something, and then they try to fill it with like weed and like Norcos and like painkillers and shit, and then they're just out to lunch.
Yeah,
and you're just like, what? What did we miss?
My buddy calls them burrito brains.
Yeah, they got burrito brains.
Burrito brains.
The only Spanish word they know is Rigobertos.
Yeah.
And they're like, they're red sauce, green sauce, like, and they like don't know which way to go.
Out of it,
yeah.
dude. They're out of it. They're out of it, dude.
Because then
I stick out like a sore thumb in
And the
California.
crazy thing is they fuck too. So like they have
yeah.
everything they need. Like they have a good taco shop. They have the vibes.
They're kind of
they're
shredded.
pulling.
Yeah.
And they're kind of fit. But they're just doing it in such a dumb way that you can't respect it.
Yes.
You know?
they're just kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Well, because the Northeast thing is it's literally polar opposites. I mean,
No.
they're like loud and smart and mean and like annoying kind of, but
Yes.
like in a funny way.
They have takes. Like, people in
and
SoCal
taste.
don't have
Opinions.
takes. They
No.
don't
They're
like
well, whatever.
Yeah.
yeah, I've had to like work to manufacture a brain that makes takes.
Yeah.
Like, I had to stay just close enough to the source that I'm a vibe, but just far enough away that I can speak for an hour.
San Francisco is different because it's cold. It looks like Boston. Like it
tech.
feels more. Yeah, there's
Old
smart people
tech,
there.
too.
Yeah,
It has a lot of similarities to Boston, where it's like it's north of a large cultural hub that thinks it's better than the city to the north, but the city to the north is like, no, fuck you. Like, I don't really fuck with LA. Like, I'm a very like San Francisco, San Diego are my, California
LA's
spots.
not a real place. I mean, it's like,
It's a collection of suburbs that
Dude.
someone dropped on the ground.
dude, I had a friend that was like, it's not a city, it's 40 suburbs. Someone drew a line around.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just not a fucking.
Everyone in LA says the same thing, and I said it when I lived there too. People be like, I don't really like LA. They go, but I love my neighborhood. And actually, I like where I live. I just don't like the collection of traffic that surrounds me.
Yeah, you also go to places in LA, like San Diego, you're getting the full SoCal experience.
Yeah.
Where you're like, this is gorgeous, the weather's perfect all the time, oh my God, yada yada. People surf, blah, blah. LA, you're being like Culver City or on Melrose, you're like, this is dumb.
I think
It
that's
looks like Austin. It's like not a nice place.
I would come about Austin the shitty. This place, like LA is really not great. I mean, it's like Austin.
Austin out there. What are you freaks doing?
I mean, why would you ever want to live there?
Expensive Austin. I mean, when I lived there,
it is expensive.
I lived in like Franklin Village, and I loved my street. But like, I lived in Hollywood, and I was just like, I think if I had committed to just living far from the stuff that I needed to and lived in like Manhattan Beach or something, probably would have loved it, because I like to commune with the ocean.
Yes.
Like, I do like to see it, and I'd like to let it wash over me, and I can just look at it and be an idiot. Like, where I'll just look at it and be like,
become a full-on retard.
dude, that goes so far.
Yes, yeah.
Like, you think about like all the water and like how far it goes, and that puts me at peace.
No, dude, every guy in San Diego, it's like he's been staring at the ocean like it's the universe.
It is,
For like 10 hours a day.
It makes me think
like
about
every one of them is going, whoa, and like fucking tap their brain.
This is an argument we had on our Patreon. We do like arguments or whatever. And his thing was, the ocean is not a great view. And I was like, whoa.
That's crazy,
Stop.
dude.
Dude, the cliffs
I
around
said-
the ocean are the view.
It is true. The contrast is what makes it pop, because when you go to a shitty piece of coastline, then you just like you obsess about the ocean because you go to a beach or a nice place and stuff's on the ocean, and the ocean as an accent to something makes it insane. But there are like huge parts of coastline where it's like,
You ever been in Nobu, Malibu?
No.
So much hype around it. It's supposed to be like the restaurant with the craziest view in the world. But the fucking restaurant's so far out that you don't see the cliffs. You just looking at
just see ocean.
It's water.
Water is not nothing, though, dude.
It's
Water is
in
not
every
nothing.
possible direction with like the sun setting behind it. Go fuck yourself.
It feels good, dude. Like, I've only believed in God when I live near the ocean. But when I live near the ocean, I'm like, the universe is sending me messages. And then when I live in New York, I'm like, I forget that like space is real.
Yeah.
Like, I see the moon, and it feels like it's just like part of my life.
That's the best part about living in New York, where you see a couple stars and you're like, like, no way.
Yeah, that's not a thing.
outta here.
And then you go
There's
like
no way you see
camping
stars.
one time, and you're like, "Oh, I forgot that we're on a ball in space." I
Yeah.
forget that way too much. The ocean reminds me.
Yeah.
The ocean, and then I said, "Don't you ever feel like small and insignificant looking out at the vast ocean?" And you go, "No."
He's manufacturing an ocean take. He's like, the ocean isn't sick. It's a crazy take because all of humanity is
Universally
obsessed with it.
agreed. It's like saying a fireplace. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
It's your lizard brain.
It's like, I got that channel on YouTube. I need to put one in my house.
Whatever. It's light and heat. Who gives a shit?
Dude, it's just a little overrated. That's all I think. It's a little
It's
overrated.
logs that are on fire. Who gives a fuck?
Do you commune with the stars living in Austin? Do you look
No,
up?
it's still pretty
No.
light polluted.
No, we
here.
commune with
Okay.
the homeless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that makes me feel at home. You
Yeah,
know, I'm
it's
wearing
nice.
a San Francisco
Yeah.
Giants jersey.
Yeah.
You gotta
No,
see
you
the
feel real
boys.
at home here.
Yeah, real at home. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm wearing
They
a
got their
double
own tenderloin.
I would call this a double syringe jersey because it's San Francisco and Barry Bonds. It's the greatest to ever play the game.
Dude, I think he gets a bad rep.
Yeah, no, he's
Very-
the fucking goat.
He's literally the goat.
Yeah, that's why I literally bought this jersey like a year ago because I was like, not enough people discuss
How
the
good
greatness of Barry Bonds.
Yeah, because he's the only guy. Like, you don't hear too much be like Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, like besmirching or whatever.
Yeah.
and that's because Barry Bonds was so much better than them.
Yeah.
Like, those were both Hall of Famers, whatever. They did PEDs. Everybody did PEDs, first of all.
Yeah.
So it was a relatively level playing field in
Yeah.
terms of PEDs. And he was still smashing home. I mean,
73 dingers in a
smashing.
year?
I have, since the Hall of Fame blackballed Barry Bonds, I have blackballed the Hall of Fame.
Let's go.
I will not go.
Did you
My
see what they
children
did to
will
Pete
not
Rose?
go to fucking Cooperstown until Barry Bonds is in there. It's a stupid fucking museum. It's worthless unless the goat is in there. You can all suck my dick.
Dude, I'm
Dude.
there with. Did you see what they did to Pete Rose?
They let
Yeah,
they
they
let him
let
in,
him
right?
The
Posthumously.
moment he died.
Yeah.
This is what they made a Pete Rose documentary. I
Trump
watched
was huge on it, right? He was like, he's a great player.
they probably love each other.
Yeah,
They
he's been
probably
tweeting
loved
about
each
Pete
other.
Rose, like he's happy.
I love
yeah.
to. Who doesn't love to gamble? I love to gamble.
Yeah,
He gambled in my
Loved him.
casino, the
Dude.
greatest casino to gamble in.
I mean, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, now Shohei fully did. I mean,
As a,
I don't know.
As a Dodger, I guarantee he's a criminal.
right?
Yeah.
Because you just hate the
I
Dodgers.
hate that he went to the Dodgers because I'm so in on stud Japanese dudes. Like,
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
my completely up my alley.
They love, I mean, Yamamoto. They got
Yeah.
that new guy, what's his name? Fuck. I forget his
We've got
Arigato.
Young Hoo Lee, so
What?
now I have to be more
Arigato?
Korean
No, it's not
centric.
Arigato.
Arigato? Is that his
fucking
name?
Yes,
asshole.
the robot himself.
Arigato.
Arigato gozaimasu.
Oh, fuck, I forgot what I was going to say.
Yeah, you did because you were being racist.
Do you?
Oh, dude, I watched a documentary about when the two Dodgers fans maimed that guy from
Yes,
San
they're
Francisco.
fucking animals, dude.
Unbelievable.
They're criminals.
It was crazy. This is what my girlfriend says. She's like, they're fucking
Your
ghetto
girlfriend's
criminals.
awesome, and
Yeah.
we've watched Niners games together.
Yes,
and
yeah.
she's
No,
a
she
big
hates
girl.
Dodgers
She
fans.
gets it, dude. She's
Yeah.
right about
She's
everything.
like, they're fucking
You
criminal
better listen to that
pieces of
woman,
shit.
dude. She's the best.
Dude, the documentary was heinous. I couldn't
Yeah.
believe it.
Beat a guy to death.
yeah,
Beat a
dude.
guy to a permanent vegetative state.
Oh, God.
They're animals, dude.
Yeah.
I've been to Chavez Ravine. It's a zoo. They should all
Yeah.
be caged.
For no reason. It was like the guy said, like, fucking go Kershaw or something, and then they just...
They just beat the
God.
fuck out. This guy wasn't even like a bad.
you-
Like there are some edgy Giants fans. Don't get me wrong. This guy I don't think was one of them.
No, he
Yeah.
was just like a dork, like walking around with with his family in a
Yeah.
Giants jersey, and they were like, "Let's beat him half."
You
to
must
death.
hate the Dodgers right now.
Nah, they're a disgrace.
They're so
Baseball's not even real.
They're so
It's a
unbelievably
construct.
good.
Yeah, they are. But what's great about it is they've just gone full evil empire. So it's like, okay, like now, like we're not going to be a contender probably for a little bit. So it's like the fact that they've spent all this money, if any year where they don't win the World Series is such a colossal failure on their behalf that it's hilarious
Think so?
to
Yeah,
me.
maybe. Yeah, I see what you're saying. But I mean, the Yankees are fucking sick too this year. It's gonna be Yankees
Great.
Dodgers again.
Cool.
Well,
Go
this
Yankees.
is also it's all
Fuck
as-
the Dodgers.
When your team is pathetic, it is fun to have a good villain. Like I
Yeah.
actually have thought
The
about
Giants
this
are
a lot.
pathetic.
They're not pathetic. And
They're not-
the
he's
way
not an
we
Oakland A's
the
fan.
way
Not an Oakland A's fan.
the
but
way we
I'm a
won
Tampa
our
Bay
World
Rays fan. I wanna
Series.
end my own life. Every
Yeah.
single
The
month.
way we won our World Series were so much better than anything the Dodgers have ever done. So fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Underdogs every year. Still did a dynasty.
Is that with
Even
Lince-
years. Dude, we were the best.
Is that with Lincecum?
Lincecum.
I love Lincecum.
Lincecum is, I was doing
Goat.
I've been doing
Goat
just
stats.
drunk conversations where you just Mount Rushmore things. It's
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Your 4 athletes Who are your 4? Lincecum's on my Mount Rushmore.
Personal favorite
Lincecum's
My
disgusting.
4 favorite athletes, if I had it, because it's not the best. It's like it's
My
shit that hit you
personal-
at a certain point in your life. So my Mount Rushmore is Tim Lincecum, Steph Curry, Barry Bonds, and this is going to be a curveball, Owen Nolan.
I don't know who that is.
He played for the Sharks he was my first love, dude. Like, like when you're a boy and you just have an idol. Like I was obsessed with him for years. Joe Thornton is on the cusp.
Yeah, I'm like having that phase of my life now because Josh is so good.
You should.
The Bills,
It's exciting.
because the Sabres are not even a real team. I mean, they should just be a farm team. No. And then the only other team is the Bills.
Great
and I was
kits,
a football
though.
guy. Yeah,
Great jerseys. I would own some Sabres
we look sharp out
jerseys.
there.
You look sharp.
We're looking sharp out there.
A good hockey
But,
jersey
I was
goes a long way.
I was a football guy, and my whole childhood we were in a drought.
Yeah.
So I'm just starting to get like the childhood wonder.
How bad do you want it, dude?
I
So bad.
I can't put it into words.
Can't.
I can't put it in. I can't even imagine that type of joy.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine
Did
it.
you leave my house? I think we watched the first half and then you left.
I left because I knew because
I've seen football,
I love him.
Luke.
I love him.
I've seen it.
Here's the thing. I love him. He's a dear friend of mine. He's a great guy. But Tony Casillas is here. Tony Casillas was doing bits.
You can't do
He
bits
was
during a
doing-
fucking playoff game, Tony.
Tony was
the
doing
AFC Championship.
I'm
Dude.
sorry, guys. I didn't know with sports. Shut up, Tony.
He
you
was
can't
doing
do bits.
dude. He was doing bits, and I couldn't deal with the bits. I needed to be home
If
alone.
he said
So
sports
funny.
ball, I would have knocked him out clean.
He
Yeah.
was just doing bits, and I get where he's coming from. He doesn't have a personal investment in the game.
He's a
but
Cowboys
I-
fan. He
Yeah.
didn't care.
Yes, I do, and I'm not here for the bits. I'm here for the fucking. I'm locked in.
Yeah.
Every mistake is like the worst day of my life,
Yeah.
worst moment of my life.
Yeah.
And
Oh, when
every
Knox dropped
slight
that ball?
victory. Yeah, when Kincaid dropped the ball,
Or
I was
Kincaid.
home alone for that. Because I was like,
That's dark.
Yes.
He was
I
in-
was alone in my
Like,
life.
you're
My
like,
girlfriend was
scaring
out of
me.
town.
I
I
was
was
you're
just
That's
watching it
good.
on your phone in the dark.
I wasn't
Like,
drinking at the time. I drank like 9 NAs, and I was just pacing around my apartment in the dark.
Another
Yeah.
NA.
Dude,
You
I have a
can't do
77-inch
NAs.
TV. I'm just like standing in front of this giant TV with an NA, just pacing around my apartment.
What's
just
the purpose of 9 NAs,
just
if I may
dry,
ask?
just
being
dry,
a dry
drunk
drunk.
misery.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm just like pacing around my apartment. And I needed to be alone. And yeah, because you're in that moment of like volatility where it's almost like you're like a crackhead.
Yeah.
Where like every bad play
It hurts.
is just devastating.
Yeah.
And every great play is euphoric.
Yeah.
And it's back and forth the whole game. It's exhausting. And then I got Tony fucking, playing a recorder, doing a bit. I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
You're
So I gotta
asking
go.
for violence, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can't.
no, I was like, I can't do it right now. I can't. I had to be home, and I didn't want to like. I was cool with like feeling that level of joy around everybody else, but in the back of my head, I'm going,
if I spaz out.
is it weird? Is their joy's not going to match my joy? I know that.
Yeah.
But I don't want that feeling of like you're weirded out by how happy I am.
Yeah.
Like I don't want that.
no
thing
one
of, like,
was going to be weirded out.
Yeah, but
But
then
if you got angry, they might have been
the
weirded out.
devastation,
The anger and the
Anger and
Anger and
devastation.
sadness would have definitely. The
It-
negative energy could have been bad.
You regress. You become like a 12-year-old who can't regulate their emotions. And it's very unbecoming, but the only thing that makes sports worth it is that level of psychotic investment,
Yeah.
because then when you get the release, it's exhilarating.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
If we
I don't
won a
really
Super
have
Bowl.
that. I like sport. I think I'm a more casual sports fan than you guys are. Because you have deep hometown teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing is like,
Are you guys not about the Bucks like that?
I like the Bucks, but like I'm not like crazy. You know?
Yeah.
It's
Well,
also,
you're also a baseball guy.
more into baseball, but I've been a Rays fan my whole life. They've never been like they've been close to being
They
good,
had like
but even-
Longoria
They had
years.
like they went to the World Series against the Phillies, and like that was sick. But you're like, it's all just like kind of a fluke. Like the whole thing does not feel. They're like their salary thing is like 20 mil. It's like hilariously low.
Baseball's in a weird spot. But yeah, it's like I'm not someone who like I don't let it ruin my. Like, I'm not every Sunday Niners lose, it ruins my day. But, like, when you get to the fucking Super Bowl, dude,
Yeah,
and you're
lose.
allowed to taste it, and it's just like, you've been drinking. I mean, we had a huge fucking Super Bowl party for the Niners Chiefs, and it was like the vibes were so strong.
Yeah.
And I had like a camera up, so I got to watch like everyone watch it go, and the fucking the energy just turns, dude. And it gets dark, and it's like that's what the Super Bowl does.
Autumn was weeping in my arms.
Yeah.
She was crying.
Oh no.
Crying real tears about. I felt so bad too because like I totally get it. No part of me was like, why is she so upset? I was like, this is
you understand.
Especially that Super Bowl was like
it was bad.
You guys and we have a nice. It's actually been good for our relationship because the Niners are the only team that's been cucked by the Chiefs as much as mine.
Brutal. Yeah, you have a common enemy. Yeah, I got drunk and I just apparently we had this party and then like I don't remember that in the night. You know, I just fucking probably took like 3 shots and passed out immediately. But apparently I was wandering around being like, we got to put him down. Kittle, Shanahan, we got to put him down. We got to put him down. They're all McCaffrey. They're like a horse with a broken leg. We got to put him down.
You're calling for people to euthanize Brandon Ayuk.
It's so funny. Dude, I'm like, hey,
that's so funny.
They're never gonna do it. They don't have it.
Nick Bosa, one shot back of the head. Take him out like old Yeller.
Yeah. But, you know, I don't let it affect and then the next day I wake up and I'm like, dude, sports is dumb. I just got to work on stuff that matters, like crowd work clips.
Back to my art. Well, I'll always ask people what they do
what
for
do you
work.
do for work? Yeah.
What do you work at the retard factory? You gotta wrap things up.
Yeah,
guys.
wrap things up. Follow Joey Avery.
Check him out.
Yeah, check me out. If you're in San Francisco, I'm filming my first special first weekend of June. I'm on the road, joeyavery.com/live. I post shit on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. And I got a podcast called The Joey Show.
Great.
Check it out.
Subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/roughweek. 2 bonus episodes a week. Come on. Shout out to the Weakling. Shout out to the Supreme Gentleman. We love you.
We love you so much.
Thank you very much.